My name's Chase and I'm an Elgato partner, and I took to Twitter recently to figure out what are some tutorials that you guys would want to see. I got some feedback, particularly applying to those of us who like using a full screen webcam when talking with our chat, making informational videos like this, or just overall hanging out. And then what happens when we want to switch to a gameplay or some sort of display scenario where we want to utilize a green screen. With some help from our Elgato Stream Deck, our key lights, our green screen down below, and just a little bit of OBS magic, we're going to make this happen. As we can see here on the right hand side under our scenes in OBS, I have a few examples set up. Yours are probably going to look different. The first scene that we'll use is the full screen camera. This is something similar to whatever your viewers are going to see where you want to show off your backdrop. The next scene that I'm going to make is very similar to the full screen camera, but I have it here dubbed as green screen camera, as you'll soon see. This scene looks almost identical, except I probably look a little bit more washed. I'm going to show you guys how to make this green screen camera scene. So from the scene itself, if you want to right click on there and go to filters, you can go on ahead and apply a chroma key here. And with the chroma key effect now applied to the scene as a whole, we can now use this scene as an individual source in our other scenes. And I have my mic, my green screen capture, and my full screen camera both right there. Full screen turned off, green screen turned on. With a simple touch of a button, I can switch that out. My camera pops just a little bit more. So how do we all tie that together? How do we tell the Stream Deck to turn off and turn on different scenes depending on what we want to do? Go to our settings here. All the way near the bottom, there are hotkeys here. We're going to go into filter and we're going to search by the scene itself. We're going to search by camera. Down underneath my gameplay scene, we can see I have two options for sources. I can show my full screen camera and I can hide my full screen camera. I can also show my green screen camera and hide my green screen camera. What that is going to do is if we assign each of these their own respective hotkeys, we can turn on one source while disabling the other source, and it'll look something like this. With the touch of a button, what we can do here is transition this by choosing our hotkeys. We can turn on our green screen camera and we can turn off our full screen camera. Drag this bad boy up here and we're looking good. The final piece of the puzzle is going to be tossing this all together in a multi-action on our Stream Deck. As you can see here, I've already got one set up. From our full screen camera, we are going to transition to our gameplay screen. I have a stinger set up, so it provides for a little bit of a delay in that transition, which allows me time to pull up the green screen. It will increase the brightness on both of our key lights to 100%. That way it gets as much of that light, bright green out as shown off as possible, so our chroma key filter will take it out. And last but not least, it will go on ahead and choose the hotkey that we assigned in OBS, so that way our green screen camera is turned on and our regular full screen camera is turned off. And altogether, it should look something like this. All right, guys, enough about that. Let's hop into some gameplay. And boom, just like that, we are here in our gameplay. If you guys have any questions about the tutorial itself, any specifics that I may not have touched on in detail, let me know in the replies. I'd be happy to take a look at it and see what we can do for you. Thank you again to Elgato for continuing to partner with me and to sponsor videos like this. It is always a pleasure. Thank you guys again, and happy gaming.